All right, hey again, everybody. Welcome to week 7 of 3 and Out with
Lucky
Coach Gas.
seven. Lucky
number
this week.
7.
That's
He's head coach Russell Gaskamp. I'm assistant AD Matt Janik. We're going to talk a little football, and we're going to get out of there. Coach, bit of a tough one on the road, but a good experience at Polar Park. One thing I wanted to ask you about last week, but obviously didn't want to do it going into the game because I didn't want you to give anything away.
Yeah.
How did you guys work on game planning for Assumption's quarterback? Somebody who can both throw the ball and run the ball, and did both on Sunday.
Well, and obviously he hurt us a lot more with his feet.
Yeah.
In the game. Yeah, you know what it came down to in most instances was just a mental mistake by one of our defenders. When they run that kind of read option type of game, you got to have a guy in the dive and have a guy on the quarterback. And there was times in that game that either a guy needed to be making him pull the ball so we could fit it a certain way, or obviously a few times it happened in the game that we didn't have a guy when he did pull the ball there, on the backside of those plays. He's a really good athlete. He's really super fast. I was really impressed with him just from a standpoint of just how fast of a kid he is. But a lot of them out were kind of mental mistakes on our defense's behalf. Obviously those things we got to get corrected going into this week. Southern Connecticut, kind of plays two guys at quarterback. One of them is more of an athletic kind of runner type of guy, and I'm sure they're seeing that video, and so we're going to have to be more sound and be better against that this week. So.
Right. Flipping it forward to Southern Connecticut State, second straight week on the road. How's that going from a mental standpoint? Guys a little tired this week? Or?
Well, obviously this is a different week for us from a standpoint of us having to play on Sunday and now having a quicker turnaround within us getting on the road. Our guys have handled it good so far this week. We gave them off Monday, which is something we don't normally do. Be able to, take at least just a little mini break. There's a lot of families at this game, so a lot of guys went home with their families, and with fall break, gave them off Monday so they can enjoy some time and come back, refresh, and focus back up. At this point of the year, everyone's tired and you're beat up. Every team's beat up. I think Assumption was beat up some last week. We've been beat up for a little while at certain positions, and are going to be a little bit thin, even more thin this week. This is college football. This is what you get paid to go do, and guys got to go out there and respond. And the 11 guys you put out there on the field, you got to go get the job done. So.
Right. The late in the game on Sunday, started to see some flashes of the E.J. Burgess from last year. Something you're hoping to unlock, obviously, going through the rest of the year here.
Yeah, I thought in general that second, third quarter offensively, we showed some things that we were starting to move the ball. I thought the team came out flat in the first quarter on the offense and defense side of the ball. On both sides of the ball, I think a lot of that had to do with kind of the conditions of when we were able to arrive and what our pregame warm-up looked like. I'm not trying to make excuses. It just was completely different. And when you're allowed to take the field 15 minutes before a game, it's the first time anybody's seen the field. I think it just kind of threw us a little bit for a wrench. But getting back to your question, I think that we've really tried to kind of simplify down what we're doing offensively. We've been banged up at the receiver position. We've been kind of constantly moving guys around in the offensive line. So we tried to simplify it. I think we did some good things in the second half of that game moving forward that I think is giving us at least a little bit of momentum. It's good to go see yourself getting in the end zone a couple times there at the end of the game. And eventually EJ's going to have a breakout game. We'd obviously love for it to be this week. So.
Absolutely. That's 3 questions. Let's get out of here. What's the key this week, Coach?
Well, I think some of it, going back to your first deal, as a coaching staff, we've got to do more mental preparation this week without being as physical because of the shorter week. And so we got to figure out a way to get our kids to the game fresh, and that's going to be the first thing. We got to start fast. We have not started fast the last couple of games on both sides of the ball, and I think we've got to get a team down there as fresh as we possibly can for this time of year. And go play well in the first quarter. And if I think we do that and get some momentum and build some confidence, I like our chances this week.
All right, let's go do it. 2 o'clock kick on Saturday at Southern Connecticut State. If you're in the Southern Connecticut area, go pay him a visit. I won't be there. He will be. The Ravens will be. They'll see you out there. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Coach.
Man. Appreciate it.